day. How beautiful a rock is made by leaf shadows! Those of the live oak are particularly clear and distinct, and beyond all art in grace and delicacy, now still as if painted on stone, now gliding softly as if afraid of noise, now dancing, waltzing in soft merry swirls, or jumping on and off sunny rocks in quick dashes like wave embroidery on seashore cliffs. How true and substantial is this shadow beauty, and with what sublime extravagance is beauty thus multiplied! The big orange lilies are now arrayed in all their glory of leaf and flower. Noble plants in perfect health, nature's darlings. June 20. Some of the silly sheep got caught fast in a tangle of chaparral this morning, like flies in a spider's web, and had to be helped out. Carlo found them and tried to drive them from the trap by the easiest way. How far above sheep are intelligent dogs! No friend and helper can be more affectionate and constant than Carlo. The noble St. Bernard is an honour to his race. The air is distinctly fragrant with balsam and resin and mint, every breath of it a gift we may well thank God for. Who could ever guess that so rough a wilderness should yet be so fine, so full of good things? One seems to be in a majestic domed pavilion in which a grand play is being acted with scenery and music and incense, all the furniture and action so interesting we are in no danger of being called to endure one dull moment. God himself seems to be always doing his best here, working like a man in a glow of enthusiasm. June 21. Sauntered along the river bank to my lily gardens. The perfection of beauty in these lilies of the wilderness is a never-ending source of admiration and wonder. Their rhizomes are set in black mould, accumulated in hollows of the metamorphic slates beside the pools, where they are well watered without being subjected to flood action. Every leaf in the level whorls around the tall polished stalks is as fine finished as the petals, and the light and heat required are measured for them and tempered in passing through the branches of overleaning trees. However strong the winds from the noon rainstorms, they are securely sheltered. Beautiful hypnum carpets bordered with ferns are spread beneath them, violets too, and a few daisies. Everything around them sweet and fresh like themselves. Cloudland today is only a solitary white mountain, but it is so enriched with sunshine and shade, the tones of colour on its big domed head and bossy out-bulging ridges, and in the hollows and ravines between them, are indefinably fine. June 22. Unusually cloudy. Beside the periodical shower-bearing cumuli there is a thin diffused fog-like cloud overhead, about 0.75 in all. June 23. Oh, these vast, calm, measureless mountain days, inciting at once to work and rest, days in whose light everything seems equally divine, opening 1,000 windows to show us God. Nevermore, however weary, should one faint by the way who gains the blessings of one mountain day. Whatever his fate, long life, short life, stormy or calm, he is rich forever. June 24. Our regular allowance of clouds and thunder. Shepherd Billy is in a peck of trouble about the sheep. He declares that they are possessed with more of the evil one than any other flock from the beginning of the invention of mutton and wool to the last batch of it. No matter how many are missing, he will not, he says, go a step to seek them, because, as he reasons, while getting back one wanderer, he would probably lose 10. therefore runaway hunting must be Carlo's and mine. Billy's little dog Jack is also giving trouble by leaving camp every night to visit his neighbours up the mountain at Brown's Flat. He is a common looking cur of no particular breed, but tremendously enterprising in love and war. He has cut all the ropes and leather straps he has been tied with, until his master, in desperation, after climbing the brushy mountain again and again to drag him back, fastened him with a pole attached to his collar under his chin at one end and to a stout sapling at the other. But the pole gave good leverage, and by constant twisting during the night the fastening at the sapling end was chafed off, and he set out on his usual journey, dragging the pole through the brush, and reached the Indian settlement in safety. His master followed, and making no allowance gave him a beating, and swore in bad terms that next evening he would "fix that infatuated pup" by anchoring him unmercifully to the heavy cast iron lid of our Dutch oven, weighing about as much as the dog. It was linked directly to his collar close up under the chin, so that the poor fellow seemed unable to stir. He stood quite discouraged until after dark, unable to look about him or even to lie down unless he stretched himself out with his front feet across the lid and his head close down between his paws. Before morning, however, Jack was heard far up on the height howling "Excelsior," cast iron anchor to the contrary notwithstanding. He must have walked, or rather climbed, erect on his hind legs, clasping the heavy lid like a shield against his breast, a formidable iron-clad condition in which to meet his rivals. Next night, dog, pot lid and all were tied up in an old bean sack, and thus at last angry Billy gained the victory. Just before leaving home, Jack was bitten in the lower jaw by a rattlesnake, and for a week or so his head and neck were swollen to more than double the normal size. Nevertheless, he ran about as brisk and lively as ever, and is now completely recovered. The only treatment he got was fresh milk, a gallon or two at a time, forcibly poured down his sore poisoned throat. June 25. Though only a sheep camp, this grand mountain hollow is home sweet home, every day growing sweeter, and I shall be sorry to leave it. The lily gardens are safe as yet from the trampling flock. Poor, dusty, raggedy, famishing creatures, I heartily pity them. Many a mile they must go every day to gather their 15 or 20 tons of chaparral and grass. June 26. Nuttall's flowering dogwood makes a fine show when in bloom. The whole tree is then snowy white. The involucres are 6 to 8 inches wide. Along the streams it is a good-sized tree, 30 to 50 feet high, with a broad head when not crowded by companions. Its showy involucres attract a crowd of moths, butterflies, and other winged people about it for their own and, I suppose, the tree's advantage. It likes plenty of cool water, and is a great drinker, like the alder, willow, and cottonwood, and flourishes best on stream banks, though it often wanders far from streams in damp shady glens beneath the pines, where it is much smaller. When the leaves ripen in the fall, they become more beautiful than the flowers, displaying charming tones of red, purple, and lavender. Another species grows in abundance as a chaparral scrub on the shady sides of the hill, probably Cornus sessilis. The leaves are eaten by the sheep. Heard a few lightning strokes in the distance, with rumbling, mumbling reverberations. June 26. The beaked hazel, Corylus rostrata, variety californica, is common on cool slopes up toward the summits of the Pilot Peak Ridge. There is something peculiarly attractive in the hazel, like the oaks and the heaths of the cool countries of our forefathers, and through them our love for these plants has, I suppose, been transmitted. This